Have you ever had that feeling, that really odd feeling of you don't really get a joke? You don't, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Whenever you're hanging out with a whole bunch of friends, maybe someone says something funny, everybody seems to laugh. You're just sitting there muffled going, what are they talking about? They try to explain it to you of what they're finding funny. You're still sat there kinda miffed. You don't really understand the joke. It's like you're still waiting there trying to think it over, trying to find where the funny part is, but you just don't seem to get it, no matter how hard you try. You're just sitting there looking like an idiot, trying to understand what everybody else has found so funny. I think in a nutshell, that feeling pretty much sums up my opinion on Zoolander. I've tried. I honestly tried. I understand that this film may have had a cult following 15 years ago, when it came out, I think, which apparently warranted enough to get a sequel? I guess there must have been a demand. People must have found it funny, obviously. So, why has it taken me this long to now go around to watching this film into hopefully selling me on the idea of Zoolander? And it really hasn't. I'm. I mean, I do kinda understand part of it. I guess is like, okay, what's the premise about? Premise of Zoolander. In a world, I think the real world, although it's probably not the real world, because as far as I check, the entire world doesn't seem to revolve around models. Because I guess that's kind of the immersion you have to get into films. One certain topic has to be the center of attention. But they make it seem like modeling is actually changing the world and giving a big impact. But I just don't see it that much in more popular media. There's a lot more things going on. Maybe back then it was. Back in 2001 it was more relevant. I don't know. Kinda, maybe. Well, I can't really say myself. I wouldn't really consider myself the most fashion-forward person. Heck, the only fashionable thing I ever seem to own is just a hat. And that's a trilby. Not really a big fashion statement if I say so myself. But hey, oh, it's... Ah, I guess that's part of it, is that I'm not exactly the audience. So, oh yeah, I was talking about the plot. Plot, you could probably tell by my investment, is that I was trying my best to follow it. It's basically Zoolander, who is a male model but also an idiot. Stupid enough for a evil organization of models who control the world, of this shady organization who take out social leaders. Otherwise, it won't give them profit. You know, that old story, I guess. Well, I guess that I've seen evil organizations need to go out of their way to make the world change, but with modeling? Like, fashion lines? Okay, I guess it's different for everything. So, what else happens during the movie? Well, it's like, since Zoolander is so stupid, one main villain, Mugatu, played by Will Ferrell, is trying to trick Zoolander, played by Ben Stiller, in order to like brainwash his mind to do what he wants, in order to uh, get him a school that he wants built, something like that. The film also stars Owen Wilson, who's Hansel. He's a stoner model who's like free spirited. That's his character, pretty much. And there's a reporter lady who is your typical love interest who's not super interesting, who could be beautiful if she just less tightened up. You know, that old story. That old load of. It's not really the most engaging stuff, seeing as we've seen it so many times. But, hey ho, I guess. So yeah, in between point A to point B, a whole bunch of things happen, a whole bunch of glorified cameos from people who some I may recognize, some others I don't. I guess Billy Zane was popular back in early 2001. I don't know, he made Titanic 5 years prior. I don't know. I'm seriously trying to elude of like how any of this makes any sense. But again, it's like everybody. What bothers me most about the film is how ridiculously perfect everybody treats Zoolander. Zoolander. They treat him like he's like the main messiah of the fashion world, that he does something so brilliant. And yet, I guess that's also kind of a joke, is that he isn't doing that much, but he kind of is. That isn't he? What is the point here? What is it everybody seems to find about him that's so perfect? Is that we're told that he's doing so perfect, yet we don't see him do anything else other than his few flashes of modelling? You know, you don't just tell us this character is brilliant, or rather not give us reasons why. You need to at least tell the story. You need to show how this character has done good for this world, or how he's gone to become this perfect. You're just expecting us to know this. I feel like I'm missing a piece of this grander puzzle, and it's just agitating. It's agitating. That's what it is. This entire thing is just like, I really tried, but however, I would be lying if I said I didn't laugh during the film, and laugh at certain interval points. There's a really weird scene early on where Zoolander and his main friends are just having around, having a good time, and then, again, I will try not to give certain spoilers, but something just out, out of nowhere is like very grimdark happened, and it was a massively messed up way, and it was like, it's like you could see it coming from a mile away, but the fact that it happened at all is just bizarre, and it's just like, and it's just moved on from the rest of the movie. Just, I guess that's something that happened. We'll just move on now. Goodbye. And also, there's a bunch of other scenes of like very odd humor, of varying qualities. Although I did have the most perfect representation of how I try to use a Mac. That seems pretty accurate. Good on the movie for that. But out of all things that just made me laugh, there was just one thing at the very end of the movie that just made me go, what the actual hell am I looking at? It made me just sit back and go, wow, you actually tried to go ahead and do this. I mean, I could buy many things going on in the movie. I could buy evil, shadowy organization of fashion designers who run the world. I can try to buy Zoolander has met up with all these super famous people and how they seem to focus in on the fashion world and how that's the biggest thing. I can almost maybe buy the brainwashing of Zoolander or to turn him into this main assassin using this pop song or some stuff. But at the very end, what the actual hell? When you're going out of your way to break physics with just looks, that is just pushing it on things you can actually get away with in movie. And it was just like the most bizarre and ridiculous thing I've actually seen in a movie in a while. And it was just like, you know what? I'm done with this. I guess Zoolander just isn't for me. I don't know who it's made for, but if anybody wants to come to me and try it again to tell me what the joke is, I'd be more than happy. I just don't know what it is. Ugh. Well, I could at least say I tried to give us a watch. I did say that I'd do that. Didn't say it was going to be easy, though.